All right, brothers and sisters, here we go. We are in chapter 30 of Genesis. And this chapter has to do with the battle of the siblings, battle of the babies, you know. We now see, well, here we go. Let's break into it. Chapter 30, verses 1 through 8. When Rachel saw that she wasn't having any children for Jacob, she became jealous of her sister. She pleaded with Jacob, "Give me children or I will die." The theatrics in this woman. Then Jacob became furious with Rachel. "Am I God?" he asked. "He's the one who has kept you from having children." Here we go. This portion immediately stands out to me. Jacob knew that it is God who gives the increase. It is God who opens the womb and shuts the womb. Doesn't matter how fertile you are. Doesn't matter if you have good genetics. It doesn't matter if your mom was octo mom and had 16 kids. It doesn't matter. People wonder, well, why does God allow meth addicts to have 10 babies in a horrible environment? And there's people who are in church and ministry and they're faithful and been married for all these years and done so much for the Lord. How come their womb is shut? I don't know why that is the way it is. But I will say this. When people ask about why are meth addicts and heroin addicts allowed to have kids and they just kick them to the curb and all that, here's something I have seen. The majority of the greatest warriors in the Lord I've run into have horrific backgrounds. They have ugly upbringings, from abuse to molestation, rape, murder, drugs. It's ugly. Stuff that you see in movies and you read in those books. They've come from parents and they've come from a childhood of such ugly demonic presence. And the enemies tried to take them out, and God's like, no, I've chosen them. Of course, it's free will. They can choose to serve God or not, but that's just my opinion. Okay, it's not biblical, but it's from what I've seen and observed. But Jacob just like, woman, what's wrong with you? He's like, I got things to do. I got 4 women to please. You know what I'm saying? I got fields to go out there and work. I got flocks to tend to. My boys are starting to grow up a bit. And he's like, it's not me who's in charge of that. It is God. Why are you coming to me? Go to him. You know who he is. You've seen the steps I've taken throughout the years. Like, you go and seek him. Don't come to me. It's not my thing. It's not a man thing. It's a God thing. So this is what Rachel does. Verse 3. Then Rachel told him, "Take my maid Bilhah and sleep with her. She will bear children for me, and through her I can have a family too." So Rachel gave her servant Bilhah to Jacob as a wife, and he slept with her. Mistake number 2. Not only did she complain to Jacob, she should have gone to the Lord before the throne of God and laid her concern there, laid her complaint there. She should have went to him, but she didn't. She went to her husband. Okay, well, okay. She should go to somebody else, another man. She went to her husband. But then when he's like, you know what? It's not me. He corrects her. He's like, hey, yo, check it out. It's God. It's not my thing. It's God. So immediately she runs to God, right? No. Little Miss Make It Happen goes out there and decides to take matters in her own hands and said, I have an idea. Here's what I will do. She does not say, okay, you know what? You're right. I'm going to go before the Lord and pray and consult him, seek his face, and lay this burden at his throne. No, she's like, I got a maid. Banger. And Jacob's like, no, I will not. No, please stop. This is not, no. He's like, okay, if you say so. Marries her and sleeps with her. My point is this. We're seeing a pattern with Rachel just making things happen. And again, it's human. I'm not trying to knock on her. It's a human thing. I've been guilty of that. And the worst thing God can do is give you exactly what you want. He allows things. She is in his permissible will, not his perfect will. And we see now she's like, you know what? I'm not going to waste my time going to God. I have a servant, a maid. Do that this way. Why? He says this. So Jacob slept with her. Verse 5. Bilhah became pregnant and presented him with a son. Rachel named him Dan, for she said, God has vindicated me. He has heard my request and given me a son. Then Bilhah became pregnant again and gave Jacob a second son. Rachel named him Naphtali, for she said, I have struggled hard with my sister and I'm winning. So we see here that the name Dan means he judged or God has vindicated, or he has vindicated me. And Naphtali means my struggle. My point is this. We now see people taking matters into their own hands. People of God, God's chosen. They're of the promise. Rachel is one of the mothers of the 12 tribes. We see how God chooses imperfect people to take part of his perfect plan and his perfect will. How does this minister to me? Recently I've how can I say this? I'm guilty of, how can I say this? Oh, best not. My point is this, brothers and sisters, when we have a problem, we are to go directly to the throne of God. Leave our concerns there. Do not try to fix it on your own. Even though you know how to fix it, and just because you can't fix it, doesn't mean it's your job to fix it. A lot of times when we fix things prematurely, there's going to be problems. And you see here, we're going to see the next couple of verses tomorrow what Leah does now. Battle of the babies, war of the wombs. And you see what happens now, just the destruction of making things happen, forcing something to fit. Even though God can and will use it to his benefit and glory and to further his kingdom, we're gonna see the reaping of making things happen. For a while I was like, just talking to some females and just seeing what's going on in the world. I've never dated before, so just trying to hit this dating scene, and man, what a ugly generation we have. People are not okay in the head, and I'm like, well, maybe my standards are too high, my expectations are too high. No, my expectations are biblical. But I'm just seeing that when I'm talking to certain sisters, it's like, I'll pray for you, sister, but I'm not going to get involved in this. I just left a 25, 30-year relationship where it's just, man, look, it ended. So obviously it wasn't great, So, but my point is, it's just like, I'm learning now. People say, oh, God will give me my spouse. I'm waiting for God. And I'm like, man, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I can see where they're coming from now. I've kind of tapped out in just dating. It's just no such thing as love anymore for these people. It's all lust, and they're selfish, and they want to constantly be validated or entertained or just accepted by everyone. They're no longer content with just being loved by one person. They want to be loved by the world and social media, and that's just robbed. The devil has robbed families of stability. Of polygamy. Is it polygamy? No, monogamy. There you go. The wrong igamy. My point is, I now realize, it's just what a waste of time pursuing a spouse. It's just heartache. At least a heartache and headache. When you force something, like they're forcing something, at least a heartache and headache. At least a turmoil, distress. And I've had my heart broken a few times. It's just like, dude, this is nothing futz. And I'm like, it's a waste of time. Now I'm just, I'm going to seek your face, Lord. Like Rachel should have just sought the Lord and allowed him to comfort her and open her womb in due season when the time was right. But she's like, nah, I'm going to take matters in my own hands like I did. And all I did was lead to heartache, heartbreak, and headache. And it's just like, but I've learned my lesson. You're going to see now she hasn't learned her lesson yet. But the point is this. God's showing me through scripture to seek him always. Always seek him for everything and anything. Like, well, that's dumb. It's not when you understand who God is and how much he loves you. The best thing to do is seek him when you have questions. And not stuff like, Father, can I breathe? Father, can I wipe? Father, can I get a double shake? No, not stuff like that. When it comes to stuff that, in life where it's like, this is going to change the future. So Lord, should I spend money on that? Should I move here? Should I pursue that woman? Should I jump into ministry? Should I take that job? Should I accept being treated such a way? Things like that, brothers and sisters. And you're going to see here tomorrow in the next couple of verses the outcome of this rivalry of siblings and jealousy of not feeling loved or feeling needed or wanted. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to leave it right there because there's a lot more to touch up on tomorrow. So much love to you all. Peace be with you. May the joy of the Lord be your strength. And remember, choose wisdom over the world. God bless.